It was supposed to be a voyage of pride, a shining symbol of South African progress and British engineering. But within just 2 years of service, the SS Waratah, known as the Titanic of the South, vanished without a trace. No survivors, no distress signal, no wreck. Between Durban and Cape Town, in the vast emptiness of the Indian Ocean, the 500-foot steamship simply disappeared, along with 211 passengers and crew. For over a century, no one has been able to explain what really happened on that winter voyage in 1909. Some say it was a rogue wave. Others blame instability in her design. And a few, even among seasoned sailors, whisper that the Waratah was doomed from the start. The SS Waratah was built in 1908 by Barclay, Curle & Co. in Glasgow, Scotland. She was a steel-hulled, twin-screw passenger liner, 465 feet long, designed to carry both cargo and colonial passengers between London and Australia. Named after the Australian national flower Waratah, she was meant to be both a symbol of imperial strength and modern engineering, boasting electric lighting, luxurious cabins, and heavy cargo holds for South African trade goods. But from her very first voyage, sailors whispered that she was top-heavy. Her tall superstructure, built to please wealthy travelers, made her roll uneasily in rough seas. Her captain, Josiah W. Ilbery, a veteran mariner with 30 years at sea, dismissed the concerns. "She handles as any fine ship should," he told a reporter in 1909. But not everyone agreed. On July 26, 1909, the Waratah departed Durban, bound for Cape Town, on the final leg of her return journey to London. She carried 211 people, passengers, crew, and traders returning from Australia. Her holds were filled with wool, sugar, and 1,000 tons of lead ore, heavy cargo that could affect stability if improperly balanced. A coastal steamer, the Clan McIntyre, left Durban just hours before the Waratah. Its captain, Bruce, later recalled the liner overtaking them at sea, her decks crowded with passengers, music playing from the upper deck. Then, as evening fell, clouds gathered on the horizon. The sea began to rise. By midnight, the Waratah was gone. At 9:30 a.m. on July 27th, a vessel named the Clan McIntyre again spotted a large steamer matching Waratah's description, about 180 miles southeast of Durban. The ships signaled each other with flags. The Waratah's last message: "Weather fine, all well." Hours later, a violent storm swept through the region, one of the fiercest ever recorded on the South African coast. Gale-force winds, towering seas, and after that, nothing. When the Waratah failed to arrive in Cape Town on July 29th, concern turned to panic. Within days, search ships were dispatched along the entire southern coast. For weeks, the British cruiser Hermes and several merchant vessels scoured the Indian Ocean, but found nothing, not a lifeboat, not a plank of wood. Newspapers in London and Sydney dubbed her the lost Titanic of the South. Families in both hemispheres waited for telegrams that never came. In September, debris was found near the mouth of the Bashi River, a single wooden plank and an empty life jacket, unmarked. Investigators could not confirm whether they came from the Waratah. Between Tendai Kamal and 1802, at least 9 expeditions tried to locate the wreck of the Waratah. Each one returned empty-handed. In 1971, the wreck of an unknown liner was discovered off the Transkei coast, but sonar scans proved it was too small. In 1982, marine explorer Emlyn Brown dedicated his life to finding her, analyzing currents, eyewitness accounts, and ocean depth charts. In 1999, Brown announced he had finally located the wreck, a vessel resting upright in 500 feet of water, about 25 miles off the coast near Bristol Channel. But when divers returned months later, they found nothing. To this day, no confirmed remains of the SS Waratah have ever been found. Among the passengers were families, businessmen, and immigrants, ordinary people seeking opportunity in a growing empire. In letters sent before departure, many spoke of excitement and pride aboard the great liner. One, written by passenger Mrs. Martha Robinson, ended hauntingly, "We have a fine ship beneath us and kind people around us. I only hope the sea will be as kind." Her letter arrived in London days after the Waratah vanished. Today, the Waratah's disappearance remains one of maritime history's greatest enigmas, a ship that simply vanished between two ports in an age when the world thought it had mastered the seas. For many, she symbolizes the hubris of early 20th century engineering and a reminder that nature still holds the final word. A century later, local fishermen still claim to see a shadow ship off the wild coast, a silent silhouette that vanishes when approached. But in truth, the Waratah doesn't need ghosts to haunt us. Her story and her silence are haunting enough.